A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. And how are we doing this afternoon? It is another wonderful day in Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique. And you're again tuned on to the Class in Session program, right? Today, the 23rd day of January. The time is 18 past the hour of 6. One of the things that make us so lovely is our war. We are about to celebrate 50 years anniversary here in Grenada. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Go ahead, share the live right now. Let them know that Royalty James is here. With a lot of apologies also, right? I know some of you guys might have been saying, what is going on with me, right? It has really been a while. But I want to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. For last Thursday, I didn't inform that I was not going to have the classroom. Last week, I was assisting one of my brothers with the burial of his father. And so I do apologize about that. But however, in going forward, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be full steam ahead. Again, I want to say I apologize. And I am going to ensure that I make all amendment, I must say. My apologies. For the past few weeks, right? Music from the steel drum that gives us a lot of fun. Like Shango shot me and big drum dance to make you jump up and prance. Oh, your part come. Experience. If sing and dance. Check out the flora and the fauna. A paradise. Nowhere in the world you will get any better paradise. So come with me to Grenada. First, it's been a while. Even my mic is giving a little trouble today. Just stay settled. It's so beautiful and nice. But however, ladies and gentlemen, it's not gonna at no way stop the program from happening this afternoon. Where are my supporters? Where are my friends? Where are my followers? I am here for another day, right? And we have the way to turn. The Almighty we calling on. But with lots of determination. To the persons over there on my YouTube page, London God, Miss Marilyn Ferguson, Baby Daddy, Kathleen Lendo, Deborah Flanders, Barbara Henry, and Bernadette Philbert. So you guys are not seeing me, so I'm saying that they're only hearing my voice and they're not seeing me. Barbara Henry, you're listening all the way from the UK. Good afternoon and welcome. Everybody just give me an indication whether or not you're hearing me properly. Give me an indication as to whether or not that you're actually getting me through the whole process right now. Just indicate by saying yes or a thumbs up, something. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good afternoon again to everybody, and I hope everybody is doing fine. I pray that the Almighty has been keeping you and your family. I know for a fact from my end, it has been a little bit rocky for the past few days. But however, by God's grace, I am here again, and I am going to give you my best, as I always try my uttermost best to do. So welcome to everyone who's listening today on my YouTube and Facebook page. If it's your first time, I want to say welcome to the Class in Session program. If you're a continued listener, I want to say again an extended welcome. And to the persons out there in the diaspora,
I want to say a special good evening to you guys. You don't know how special this evening is to say good evening to you guys. All right, let me start by informing persons that I know at this stage we have a lot of parents whose kids are presently involved in a lot of sporting activities, and so I want to ensure that you guys keep the kids in a very safe position on days when they do have sports. And to the parents that have been attending some of the sporting activities, I know some of the schools will appreciate you. Somebody saying we're missing your program, you will get some time out. All right, I do apologize. I really do apologize about that, but I'm good and I'm back, and certainly you would hear me more often than usual, because my intention for the next few weeks, being honest, is to more heighten the program. I really want to see how best I could even go and start to have some public interactions, speak to persons on the street and so on, and see how best I can get feedbacks. You know, I want to upgrade the program a bit, right? As I said, for the past few weeks, it have been, you know, a little bit mind-boggling. We are all humans. We go through some tough periods in our life. And so I just want to extend to the many persons who have reached out and like, are you okay? Are you all right? I want to say at this stage, I am at a safer place. I am in a proper place. And mentally, I must say to you guys, I have been keeping the Almighty with me. And in doing so, it have really bring some new light to a lot of things that have been happening. You understand me? So I want to start, ladies and gentlemen, by one of the things that was brought to my attention today, and it was brought to my attention on the query or on the premise that it surprised me whether or not it is effective or not to have been informed that now there are police officers or a police officer, and if I may read from one of the excerpts that I do have, and I would not call the particular officer's name, but however, that particular officer has been seconded to the CBI unit with effect from the 1st of November 2023 to the 31st of October 2024. Now, I don't know whether or not it is a move that was taken by this present administration. I don't know of how effective that will be, but we are now seeing that, and it is a corporal of police. A corporal of police have been attached to the CBI unit. Whether or not that there is a CBI unit, and I would also like to find out from this administration, there is a police officer there. I don't know if anybody else is aware as it relates to how many other persons are a part of the CBI unit, but it has been brought to our attention that there is a CBI unit, right? One of the officers are attached, or an officer have been attached. I don't know if there are other officers. But my question is, ladies and gentlemen, what is the effect of a police officer being a part of the CBI unit? What is the effect of a police officer being a part of the CBI unit? Let's be realistic. A police officer that holds the rank and in these circumstances of a corporal of police, can he in any way, if there are other persons like ministers of government who supersedes him, make any drastic or important decision? Now, if a police officer that is attached to the CBI unit gets anything to, in his opinion, that is suspicious, whom do he report it to? Now, if he reports it to his most immediate supervisor, who might be a sergeant or inspector or so on, or maybe FIU, I am certain that he would then have to report it to the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police would then report it to the Minister of National Security. Now, my question is whether or not, if there is something suspicious happening within the CBI unit, would the Prime Minister then make a decision to dismantle or cause the person within the CBI unit to be disciplined? What would that do to his unit? And somebody saying he could speak Russian. What effect? And let's put, and you see, sometimes when we speak things like this, we don't want to make it sound as if we're just singing mediocrity. We want to ensure that we sing as if we're making sense. Because a corporal of police, being a part of the CBI unit in his capacity, may realize that there is some form of corrupt practice or something that is happening within the CBI unit, with him, he doesn't believe that it is the normal practice. He then would have to report to somebody, because I am certain that he is not in a position to then conduct an arrest by himself without not first submitting a report. Right? So this person or this corporal of police within the CBI unit would have to submit a report to his superior. This superior may have to send it further to the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police may have to inform the Prime Minister, who is the Minister of National Security. Let's be honest. Let us be honest. Would the Prime Minister then make a solid decision that the person or persons who might be involved in the corrupt practice be either reprimanded, be arrested, or whatever circumstances that may have to arise from such a decision? Would the Prime Minister make an honest decision based on the basis that the CBI program is such a program in Grenada that have been the talking point in so many circumstances? Let us be realistic. What is the purpose of a member of the RGPF being a part of the CBI unit? You see, these people continue to want to pull wool over our eyes and put things and people in places in the belief that they are doing things transparently. So somebody saying, oh, there are police officers on the CBI unit. No, so persons cannot do whatever, or the allegation of what was being said before may not happen. But the question to be asked is, what is the powers that is given to the officer that is attached to the CBI unit? What amount of power does that individual have? Because at the end of the day, a corporal of police is in no position to conduct an arrest by to a minister of government, more so the Prime Minister or anybody in whom he finds in fault. A corporal of police is not in a position to do so. The Director of Public Prosecution and other persons would have to get involved, even of the rank of an inspector upwards. So to tell me you have a person or a police officer attached to the CBI unit, making people believe that he or she being there is one of transparency, transparency is mediocrity to me. Because my question to be asked is, what is the powers of this officer within the unit? What powers does he have? Is he there to ensure that the monies, as somebody is saying, is protected? Is he there to say, well, if somebody infringes, he is in a position to say, well, let's cause that person to be arrested? Because the regulation, as it relates to the police regulation, does not stipulate that a constable or a corporal of police or sergeant conducts an arrest to a person whose rank, whose position is of a ministerial position. It must be an inspector upwards to conduct such an arrest. So my question is, what is the purpose of the person on the CBI program? What is the purpose of the RGPF having somebody attached to that program? And you see, it brings me to my other point, that continuously, and I continue to say this on my program, many a times we as Grenadians and supporters of this present administration sees an headline and always jump with the headline. Because this present administration have managed properly in terms of this. Properly. When I tell you they have caught the eyes of Grenadians by simply placing headlines in front. Somebody say, who is his immediate supervisor? And that's true. As a corporal of police, a police would he be reporting to a civilian? So you see so many questions. I didn't want to jump back, but an important question. Whom does this person report to? What is the extent of his report? What is he there for? Infringement? Is he there for security purpose to ensure that whenever the daily operations is through in the CBI unit, that they bring the money from there to there? And as I was saying, my question remains that when we see, not question, the fact remains that when we see headlines here in Grenada, we jump with it. So during the budget, we heard about $500 for Imanis and increasing this and increasing that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in 2024. And sometime late last year, you heard a nice conversation of minimum wages and the implications of minimum wages. And it would be implemented from January. And with government doing a bi-monthly payment, you're already hearing conversations. You're hearing conversations, ladies and gentlemen, surrounding the query of bi-monthly payment. You understand me? And I want to ensure that you guys don't say that it's just Prince. Let me ensure that I get a recent clipping that came out from the MTV News.
Expected increase. There are reports that some government employees did not receive their expected increase in accordance with the new minimum wage during the first bi-monthly payment on the 15th of January 2024. According to the new minimum wages order that was published in the official government gazette beginning in January, no worker in Grenada will be paid less than EC $60 per day or $1,200 per month. Our news team reached out to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Mike Sylvester, on Thursday, who sought to provide clarity on what might have caused the delay. He says the Ministry of Finance issued directives in early January as it relates to upgrading the list of government employees who now qualifies to be paid in accordance with the new order.
In terms of the minimum wage, what I can say is that the Ministry of Finance issued instructions, what we call guidelines for budget implementation, right, on the 4th day of January.
No, let me pause this. Let me pause this for the purpose of. Remember, the conversation of the increase of minimum wage, the conversation was about 2 months before the end of the last year. I'm subjected to correction that it could be earlier. So government knew for a fact that the decision that was made to increase minimum wages was not a conversation that started on December 29th. The conversation of minimum wage and minimum wage increases started way back, and I can recall sometime March or May of last year, when Sister Claudette Joseph and other members were doing their consensus as it relates to minimum wage. It was made public just around September, October of last year, the conversation of minimum wage. So my question is, why, knowingly that the decision has been made and that increase ought to take place in January 15th of this year, but the instruction, based on what Mr. Mike Sylvester is saying, the instruction to ensure that this be propelled or made happen started on January 4th. Because if you made a decision 2 months or 3 months back, I am expecting that as it relates to putting things in place to cause that payment to have happened, must have started there about a month or so back. So decision, and as he said, instructions. And let me get his correct words, because I don't want to say what he didn't say.
right, on the 4th of January,
Right.
to all ministries and departments, asking or providing guidance in terms of the implementation of the budget. And one of those matters is the minimum wage 2024. And so the instructions there were basically that they should identify all persons within the ministries and so on who are currently paid under the minimum wage.
So you understand this? That instruction, ladies and gentlemen, was passed on January 4th. A decision that minimum wage or the increase of minimum wage should have started since the decision was made 2-3 months back. Because this is not a January conversation. As I said, I remember sometime about March or May of last year. Claude Joseph, who headed a team and was going around and finding out the consensus as it relates to minimum wages and so on. So government made a decision of minimum wage increase unknowing to them as to how many persons were actually under the minimum wage. Are you understanding? That is what the conversation is saying. Because government was unaware from different ministerial positions and ministries as to the amount of persons that was actually under the minimum wage. So government stated, listen to me, we're going to increase minimum wages. Being ignorant as to how many persons within different ministries are actually under minimum wage. Question posed. But my question is, wouldn't the Ministry of Finance have the information of all persons below minimum wages because they pay the workers? Pertinent question. So my question is, you made a decision. You did a consensus. You wanted to know how many persons are actually below minimum wages in Grenada. You did that consensus. You said as an administration, you know what? There are too many persons under minimum wages. And so we are going to increase it. Kudos. Excellent job. However, you made that decision ignorant of the fact or knowingly as to how many persons are actually under the minimum wage. You made a decision on the basis that, hey, we're going to increase it, but we don't know how much persons that are actually under the minimum. And plus, government making that decision, not even knowing the persons that are actually on the minimum wage within the government. So on January 1st, that instruction was passed for salaries to be paid by the 15th. You don't expect that there are going to be hiccups. You gave persons an 11-day period to make that level of verification when you made a decision 2-3 months back. So you made a decision to increase minimum wage, not knowing as it relates to how many persons are actually under the minimum wage as government workers. Let's not go into the public, the private sectors. So government made a decision, government being ignorant as to how many persons within government that are actually under the minimum wage. You made a decision for that increase to happen as effective of January 15th because government are being paid bi-monthly. But you passed the instruction to different ministries to find out how many persons are actually under that wage on January 4th. Well, if that is not laughable, I don't know what is. You can't say to me that an individual is making a decision. Listen to me. We are moving this house tomorrow. Well, I mean, well, let me not even bring that reference because we have seen them making decisions unknowing to them as it relates to what the actual fact is. This is not a first time thing. We have seen them in recent weeks and months back that we have seen them make decisions and then at the end of the day, everybody throwing up their hand. Well, I didn't know. We continue, and I continue to say that the protocol of this administration is too lackadaisical. You're actually seeing a level of lackadaisical practices within this administration. Because I am saying to you guys that if government is making this decision to increase minimum wages, and minimum wages are to be increased as of January, how come you're telling me that government is passing an instruction in January for persons to make verification as to how many persons within different ministries are actually on a minimum wage? But let us go on to listen.
And to indicate to the Department of Public Administration, all right, so that the salaries can be adjusted accordingly and that the payment can be made by the first pay cycle.
According to Sylvester, the process may have extended beyond the 15th of January, which may have resulted in some employees not witnessing the adjustment. However, upon competition, workers will be compensated accordingly during the second bi-monthly installment.
What I cannot confirm is whether and to what extent that work was in fact completed, and that person's salary was adjusted by the 15th. That said, the ones that work is completed, persons would receive the adjustment, and then whatever retroactive payment would be made in that regard. So I can perhaps give a better update by the time of the next pay cycle, which is the end of the month. But I think by then all of those issues should be resolved. Yeah.
Private sector entities who do not describe to a twice monthly payment system are expected to roll out the adjusted salaries at month's end. For MTV News, Kayla Flavany.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we understand. This administration always just take the opportunity to put the cart before the horse. So, an issue that should have been rectified and be made proper. So, some individual now who might have said to themselves, you know what, let's increase our mortgage monthly payment, because listen to me, by January 15th, I'm going up to $600 more. You understand the inconvenience? And I'm saying to you, if government, you telling me that government did not realize that would become an issue by the time the first pay cycle was being brought forward? Government would realize that based on the time the instruction was passed and the days given, that they were not going to meet every person. And all government had to do was come outside and say, listen to me, we have had issues in such X and Y, and it will not be paid. And hence the reason why every time situations like this happens, I say to you guys, don't be fooled by just the adjustment to be made. So you hear you say at the end that, okay, persons are going to be paid. Their supporters are going to listen to just that. So they're going to surpass that they faltered. They're going to surpass the fact that, hey, persons are actually disgruntled over this. They are going to surpass this, because their supporters are going to say, hey, so even if they don't get the money, they go get the money mountain. But you see, sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, it is not always just fixing the problem. It is not always just fixing the problem. And this administration always in a position where they have to fix the problem, because they would make a headline, it would come out nice on the billboards and on the newspapers and on social media, and then when the date comes for it to happen, it does not happen. And then you hear they come with some ratchy excuse later on down the road, and then you hear the others start to say, well, they go get it. But we cannot continue to do this, people. We cannot continue to be there on the premise or on the fact that government is always having to fix the problem. Let us get it right there and then. Let us get it right there and then. Because we can't continue as a people to continue to sit back, watch an administration making these silly mistakes. And then at the end of the day, all we're thinking about is rectifying the issue. Right? We cannot continue to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Because you see, sometimes the statements are vague. And to them, everything is laughable. Everything to them is laughable. And let me share, because people, sometimes you listen to things and you get so aggravated that you wonder whether or not public persons within public spaces and public image do think before they talk. Listen to this.
You describe yourself earlier on as the hatchet man. Did I hear you correctly?
No, I didn't describe. I said people. I said some people.
Or you acknowledge, rather, or I should say, you acknowledge that you are known as the hatchet man.
That's what they see.
But
as a matter of fact, some of the ministers in Grenada, when they say, well, some of our ministries may need some sanitizing, and they'll point to me and say, well, look, the hatchet man, they call him.
I don't feel I want to listen to the rest of these people. I don't feel I want to listen to the rest of this. Because you have an elected minister of government and parliamentary representative sitting on a talk show program acknowledging that he's the hatchet man. And for those of us who may not understand what he's saying, and when he speak about when ministries want sanitizing, he's talking about people going, making people go, firing people. When he used the word sanitization, he's metaphorically saying that whenever ministries want to get rid of people, clean out, that he is one of the persons that his administration sees him as the hatchet man. Now tell me, how can one sit comfortable and accept such a name, that when a ministry is looking to sanitize, clean out, make people go, fire individual or individuals, he is one of the persons that his ministry would call upon? How can you say to me that a politician, parliamentary representative, a minister of government, whose main role and function is to serve, provide service to a people, that he is giggling and laughing and enjoys the fact that his role and function is to get a Grenadian, a kayak, a Petit Martinican out of a job? And he chuckles and he laughs. And then the online student sits there among him as per usual and grin like a born sheephead, acknowledging the fact that whenever government is looking for a papiot to get rid of people, to send them home, he is the person that is called upon. And he laughs and he giggles. Remember, there was a talk in growing up when we go into school and persons sound so dumb. You ask them if when they born, they fall on the head. He's the hatchet man. And then in making clarifications, he verifies. He verifies.
He would help us.
But yeah, I understand that rule. There are people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique here who have had who have been complaining about that activity, being a hatchet man. Yes. How does that affect? Did that affect you personally in any way? Because to be you young, just into office, and you have been seen as already. I mean, I ain't saying it is so, but I'm just saying reference. Even your colleagues say check the hatchet man. Yes. So I'm just saying, has that
It has not affected me, my brother. And the reality is, leaders must make bold and tough decisions. The people of Carriacou Pity Martinique elected me to make some challenge.
He ended there because he was a real. He said leaders make bold and brave decisions. But decisions that compares you to a hatchet man. A leader make a decision for improvement. A leader would make a decision in the same light that if an individual within his realm, within his circle, is not well developed, a leader would say to an individual, you know what? I realize that you lack X, Y, or Z. And I would assist you in saying. Right? And I want you, and when he used that concept, ladies and gentlemen, I really wanted to assist you guys in understanding something, because I went searching. I really went searching. Right. And let me assist him that there is a difference in being a leader and a boss. A boss knows everything. A leader admits his mistakes. A boss tells people what to do. A leader shows you how to do things. A boss criticizes. A leader gives advice. A boss talks fast and gives orders. A leader gives directions. A boss demands respect. A leader earns it and deserves respect. A boss says I. A leader says we. A boss blames others. A leader works together. And a boss commands while a leader asks. So when you make the bold statement that the people of Carriacou Pity Martinique elect you to be a leader, no, they might have done that in its true sense, but when you got the position, you became a boss. So at the end of the day, you come in and mention that the decisions that you're making is harsh and hard. No, you're making idiotic decisions on a political victimization process or policy. That is what you're doing. You're not doing things because you're elected to make any harsh decision. No, that's not what you're doing. If you believe that is what you're doing, check yourself. Because at the end of the day, even the statement of the decision to be made by the hatchet man should not be a decision made by you. Because it shouldn't be I. If you realize that somebody within the Ministry of Carriacou Pity Martinique Affairs might be slacking, you may want to call the PS or other persons who are with them to pull them together and say, I realize that Jane Joe is not performing to the expectation. What do you believe that we do? But when you are the hatchet man and you realize that Jane Joe is underperforming, the decision you will make because you're a boss is to get him or her fired, because you want to sanitize and ensure that the hatchet is being used at its most precise punishment. So you're not a leader, you're a boss. Because there is a distinct difference between those things. And it could be just that Jane Joe may not understand the role to be performed. And so you may pull her back and say, listen, may I have you as a secretary? As of Monday, I'm going to get somebody to act in that position, and you're going to be second in charge, so you're going to understudy them. So 6-7 months down the road, where Jane Joe wasn't, she's there now. Because as a leader, you help give advice and you develop. So when you call the hatchet man, you call the hatchet man because of your bossly behavior, not because of no leadership. Don't believe at no time, brother, that leadership calls for harsh or hard decision in the premise of causing demise to others. No. If a leader is making a decision, he must take into consideration the consequences of the persons under him. Maybe it may not be liked by everyone, but at the same time, you want to not create any infringement or any friction, for want of a better word, with the subordinates below you. So at the end of the day, you don't move lunch from 1 hour to 15 minutes because you is the boss. You consult with the staff and say, I'm wanting to move it to 15 minutes because I realize that production in the flow remains less, or we want to develop. So let's take 3 months and can we just do 15 minutes lunch? And the team may say, okay, yes, sir, we may do so. But when he comes and he say 15 minutes from Monday, February 15th, for the next 3 months, that is bossly behavior. That's not leadership. That is not leadership, brother. So when you call the hatchet man to make the sanitary decisions, you're no leader. When the people elected you, they thought you had leadership qualities, only now to understand that you're just a boss. That lack the normal concept of what pure growth and development in terms of becoming a good leader should be. You've never been a minister of government before, so there's no leadership in you. You have not passed the probationary period for a minister of government, not even a parliamentary representative. You have not passed the probationary period. There are imanis that have served longer than you within different ministries. So don't complain, leader what? So if a leader come, you just wake up tomorrow and be a leader. No. You don't just wake up tomorrow and say, hey, but he's a leader now. You're elected parliamentary representative. The teachers in the class learn from the students. And unless you don't put yourself to that level, unless you don't bring yourself down to that level and understand that there is no I. There's no I in leadership. There's we. So we are going to make that decision. When the other candidates look at you, and the other parliamentary representatives look at you, and your cabinet look at you as the hatchet man, you are what you call the babule. You is the dum-dum in the crew. Because at the end of the day, anything that happens, you know, you have some people before, you're growing up as young children, and there is this one person who is always brave enough to climb the mango tree. And not because he could climb, you know definitely when the watchman hold him, and you run, he not falling in any problems. Because at the end of the day, he has nothing but his mother and the father, no trouble in him. You ever see the rich man child climb the tree? No, go ahead. Always think back to yourself. Young persons who have had youthful days in terms of going to Mr. Jane and Mr. Joe Mango, ever realize that the child that is average or higher class would climb the mango tree? No. The less fortunate one would climb. So even if the watchman hold him, you bring him by his mother and father, and he had to fall in the problems. And that is what you are, my dear minister of government. And you're in a ministerial position and not understanding this. Calling yourself the hatchet man, and you're grinning. As I said earlier, like a born sheep head. Like when a born sheep head, the more fire you get, the more you grin. That is you. And when you all are going to understand this concept, and I don't know whether or not the Prime Minister is taking or putting a stance to this logo program and them all you're going on and talking this level of foolishness and making yourself look less. Lack the simple concept of governance and process and protocol, saying looseness on the basis that you want to be what liked. People are going to dismiss conversation like this. The President of America is telling people, I is the boss. I'll bomb Iraq tomorrow. It's not causing him to be liked. Now you're not understanding this concept. Going on this program and them and talking to the wideness of your mouth. Not thinking before you guys talk. Just for the like and the views and the, oh, I'm a minister and I'm interacting with the people. But what are you interacting? Is it making sense? Is it going to bring any form of development? So you telling to people that you're the hatchet man, what level of development does that help to the people, brings to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique? Tell me. You're more scaring the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique? Because if you're the hatchet man and my minister or my parliamentary representative is the hatchet man, well, I have to watch you with a hawk's eye. Because you are there to make the high-handed and harsh decision. You don't seem like it's somebody that is going to give anything, any form of consideration. You're going to do things for what? Just because? You're young. You're supposed to be speaking in the vein. Or you're supposed to sing as if you have sense. You don't must have it. But song so. Like how other song. Song like you have sense. You're making vague statement like that. It's not going to put a feather in your cap. Because you sung something so. Let me tell you how you're singing based on what you said.
Will come in, and you know, February the 7th is considered to be Independence Day here in Grenada. And I would see many of our people dressing like clowns as usual. Green, red, and gold. I mean, they would make all kinds of costumes and sing all kinds of songs. Many of them still wallow in poverty. But that's the day when clowns come out to play. Normally on that day, I wear anything that is not clownish. Something black or something that's not associated with this carnival-like atmosphere, when indeed independence is far more than that. So I'm not a part of that. I'm not a clown. I'm not a part of that. How could I go in the stadium and wave flags and dress up like a damn clown with eyes green and, what do you say, green, red, and gold? How could I make myself so vulnerable? I am saying, folks, it's time to wake up. I am not going to go and dress like a damn clown with green, red, and gold. You'd never see that. I'm wearing a black fury.
Ladies and gentlemen, a message from SpongeBob SquarePants. Listen to this. That's the kind of statement they make. Wake up, folks. That is what you need to get from it. Wake up. 50th anniversary, nothing. Don't go in the National Stadium and dress up like no clown. When we still continue to wallow in poverty and raise your eyes green and, how do they call it? Red, green, and gold. Wear something black. Wear something black. Don't go and look like no clown in the National Stadium. You'll never see me do that. I wear something black. This is the conversation that you hear from them, that you heard from them. And as he said, you never do that. I want you guys at the National Stadium, and I'm asking every social media platform, every news media, all the classroom is asking for is one picture or a photograph, a video, a photograph, a reel on February 7th of SpongeBob SquarePants dressing like a clown to celebrate our 50th anniversary here in Grenada. Not me that say. If all you want to go and say, not me.
will come in, and you know, February the 7th
Yes.
is considered to be Independence Day
Yes.
here in Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
And I would see many of our people dressing like clowns as usual.
Tell them, brother.
Green, red,
and what?
gold.
They
They would make all kinds of costumes and sing all kinds of songs. Many of them still wallow in poverty.
You hear?
But that's the day when clowns come out to play.
Right.
Normally on that day, I wear anything that is not clownish.
Thank you.
Something black or something
you hear the advice?
That's not associated with this carnival-like atmosphere. When indeed independence is far more than that.
Thank you.
So I'm not a part of that. I'm not a clown.
Thank you.
I'm not a part of that. How could I go in the stadium and wave flags and dress up like a damn clown?
Thank you.
With eyes green and what do you say? Green, red, and
gold.
And gold. How could I make myself so vulnerable? I am saying, folks, it's time to wake up.
Wake up. You hear the call?
I am not going to go and just like a damn clown.
Thank you.
With green,
red,
and gold.
Yeah. You don't know the color.
You'd never see that.
Leave him. Don't force him.
And wearing a black curry.
So you see, that is what they do. Looseness. Without any conscientious thought as it relates to what has to be said. Whether or not it affects you 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road. Today we celebrate our 50th anniversary with the administration that he supports. And I'm certain that the expectation is that you don't dress like a clown. You dress like a proud patriotic Grenadian and you go to the National Stadium. When years ago, he called the same Grenadians, you and I, and supporters of his kind, clowns, to just show a level of patriotism by simply wearing a replica of either the flag colors or symbol or maybe crest of our state. This individual stood and said to the Grenadian people, to do so, you metaphorically would be dressing like a clown. And today we celebrate our 50th anniversary with his administration. And I'm certain, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't going to see him wearing black. And maybe he go wear black, you know. Because maybe I talk a little bit too early. Because I know there are goons listening and they're going to tell him, watch the way. Don't look like a clown. I am making the plea to you, my dear brother. Don't put on anything that would make you look clown-like, that has any color of the replica of the flag in that of eyes green or gold. Because I don't want you looking any more further than a clown come Independence Day. Because the look already goes with you. Don't make it go further. Don't look much more like a clown. Because that statement, that derogative statement, that disrespected even the founding father of our independence, this statement that disrespected our foreparents, this statement that disrespected the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, is already clown-like. So don't bring it further. Because I'm certain I would not disturb the peace of the national celebration, but I'm certain going to be in a place playing this over and over and over again for you to ensure that you hear it. Because as a young Grenadian, I am a young Grenadian. When you make derogative statements like this, because of political front, it comes back to bite you in your rear. When you're playing kookaburra, for those of us who don't know, find out the meaning of what a kookaburra is. And many of us who might be intelligent enough, maybe could put it in the comment section. When you're playing kookaburra during the reign of the past administration, not taking into consideration that someday your supported party would have formed the government. Statement like this is what you call loose and vague. Go look it up. Somebody just looking at it, somebody just messaged me immediately and asked. The word is kookaburra. Find out the word, meaning of the word kookaburra. It was taught to me by my English literature and language teacher, Mr. Gordon Bowler, at the St. Mark's Secondary School. Find out what is a kookaburra. So when you play kookaburra a few years ago, and you said that to the Grenadian people, and now your administration in which you support forms the government, let me see. Let me see the manner in which you will dress on February 7th. And I say December because I want him to look like Santa Claus. You understand me? Somebody say what goes around comes around. Yes. That is what we keep preaching. And I'm saying that to you guys again. Respect every ministry. Respect every Grenadian. Supporter or on alike. Even if they don't support your administration, respect, ladies and gentlemen, is what governs you as an individual. Respect the office of the Prime Minister. Respect the office of the ministry of whatever, or the minister of whomever. What they do, you may dislike. And that is life. Your teacher is your teacher. You may not do the things that your teacher do. You may not like it every time. But that is your teacher. You ought to respect the fact that that is your teacher. That's the way it lays. And that is life. You can dislike the action of an individual, but respect an individual. Respect the action of an individual. Respect the actions of individual. We understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to take this into consideration, and I want to extend, even if all that has been said, I would continue to extend to every Grenadian, happy 50th independence. Somebody saying, Principal, don't let the topic rest. Some Grenadian closing their eyes and ears to what Spain knows. Said, no man, listen to me, that playing until every time I come here for the next few days until the 7th, that playing, that day on repeat. Are you finish up? Every day I'll come here, I'll hear this. Until the 7th. And I may still play it on the 8th. And as I was saying, I want to respect every individual. Best of wishes every day to the government and people of this country. To every parliamentarian and politician of this country. To every ministry. To every ministry. To every individual that walk the streets of Grenada, whether or not you support this administration or not. Enjoy this 50th anniversary. On the basis, not on a political basis, but on the achievement of Grenada. Whatever small, in whatever corner, something, there must be something you could point out that was not there in 1974. But it's here now. And as a Grenadian, you ought to be proud of it. My proud moment? Kirani James's goal. I said James, I'll go say a bias. Kirani James' goal. Dr. Mitchell's reign as a leader in this country. And our most prestiged Mr. Hollis Mack winning international soccer mula. That is my tree. That is my tree. And don't downgrade me tree. That is my tree. That is my tree. If you have another tree, that's your tree. That is my tree. The reign of Dr. Mitchell. The victory earned by Mr. Killer at the International Soccer Monarch. And the gold medal earned by Kirani James at the Olympic Games. This is my tree. This is where I rest. Because I like politics, I like soca music, and I like athletics. Sports on a whole. So I rest my premise there. Alright? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys. And as I said, it is all about a full improvement into the program. I am really deeping in my mind to find out new innovative ways, because we don't want to keep to the old. We want to come up with new ways and suggestions. And persons could message me. Persons could message me whatever idea that you think may help improve the program. Sometimes, you know, you sit and you think that you know that what could ever improve. But I don't know whatever you see. You could message me. Message me privately and say, what you think that might make some form of improvement into the program. All right. I would welcome any idea, and no idea is a bad idea. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, coming up, Higher Links Promotion Graphics, Song and A3 Production Day present Rep Your Country's Color. That would be on February 7th aboard the Embassy. Tickets are only $70. Go out right now and get your tickets. All right. The St. Mark's constituency branch represent Sunset City Spice Breadfruit Festival. That would be held on the 9th, I believe, of February. I have the wrong flyer. That would be on the Hard Court in Victoria in St. Mark's. It is a wonderful, wonderful experience. You get to taste everything breadfruit, right? At least 80 to 85 or 90% of the products that would be there will be produced from breadfruit. It will be a wonderful day. It will be hosted by yours truly, Royalty James, and we're going to get interactive with you guys. We're going to chat with you guys. So come out to Victoria on February 9th. All right. Brendan Trent's Promotion, they present Ice, Green and Gold 50th Independence Cruise. That is aboard the Embassy also, all the way from Canada. You're getting soul vibes. You have music from DJ Smiley, Graphics, Blackstorm, and Carl and Kyle. All right, so get your tickets right now from Brendan on the bus terminus, and also Chucky. You can also get it on Go to Fed. Sailors Promotion, they present Bingo and Dance. That will be on the 3rd of February at Quarantine Big Yard. Go there, get your chance to win $15,000 in cash and prizes. Tickets cost only $20. Bingo starts at 6. However, the event starts at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Dance after to the lovely songs of Song Vibration right there at the Fusion Bar. See you there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is one to look forward to. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget a list of events. I want you guys to be careful, protect yourself, and don't forget to get this product right here.
Are you having problems with pain? Well, we've got the solution. Use Nut Magic Pain Reliever today and feel the pain fade away. Nut Magic Pain Reliever is produced right here in Grenada by Black Gold Enterprise and can be used for the relief of sore muscle, joint pain, cramps, backaches, arthritis, and other related symptoms. It's magic in a bottle. You can find Nut Magic Pain Reliever at major pharmacies and supermarkets on the island. Call or WhatsApp Black Gold Enterprise at 458-1330. Look for Nut Magic Pain Reliever on Facebook and on Instagram, or send us an email at bgegrenada@gmail.com. Get yours today and say goodbye to pain. It's magic in a bottle.
It's magic.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you so very much for being a part of this evening's program. It was a pleasure as always. I am hoping to see you guys back here tomorrow again. And as I said, I am really tonight, I'm going to take the opportunity to do that. Don't be scared to, reach out to me via Messenger or even WhatsApp and tell me what you believe may help in the improvement of the program. Because at this stage, we are really deciding to up the program. It is what I do, right? It's my job. So to make further improvements in the program, I am asking persons to give me your suggestions, whatever come to mind. You may think it's a bad idea, but you may want to see something different, right? It's all about getting more persons interactive, getting more persons involved in the conversation. Yes, I know it's fully politically driven, but however, sometimes when we have pressing topics, we would address it. All right, social issues, we would address it. All right, so God's blessings to each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. A special good afternoon to my family, afternoon to your family, and God's blessings. So until we see again tomorrow afternoon, peace out and be safe. All right, thank you very much.
so lovely.